And welcome back as play gets started here. Atlanta Old White taking on the Chicago Lions. Old White on the right in the white jerseys. Chicago on your left in the black jerseys. And this one should be an absolute belter. I'm joined now by Colin Hawley back in the booth. Finally, a little bit of sanity gets reintroduced to proceedings as Colin rejoins me. And this promises to be a very good game here. Both teams known for their sevens.
Yeah, absolutely. Atlanta Old White head coach Ron Omandi. A lot of good players on Old White. There's some guys who have some pretty great experience. Jamie Gasparella is the captain of the team. It's said that he's actually the glue that holds this team together. We got 23 David Andrew with the ball, taking it forward for his team. Number 10, Tyrus Baytops. Now, there's a lot of these players that were playing the Life St. Mary's final that we had commentated at Stanford a few months back. And good to see these guys coming out and playing some sevens after their 15 season.
It is. You recognize a few of these names. A lot of them showing that they're Life still undergrads as well. And they were fantastic in that game right up until the last 15 minutes when St. Mary's pulled away to get what was a very thrilling victory. But they're back here today now shooting up for the Atlanta Old Whites. And like you said, fantastic stuff. They're not just sitting around in the summer, letting their talents go to waste as they drive this thing forward. But it's going to come back for a penalty here, not releasing the tackle player. And let's see what Atlanta have in their bag of tricks here.
A few guys that kind of names pop out. Atlanta Old White, there's Baytops. We knew that he was pretty dangerous for Life out there on the wing. And also Gerson Blaze. He was with the Sevens program a few years back, and he's definitely got some pace. Here he is with the ball in hand here, trying to go around the corner. Ball coming out, number 10. That's Baytops. Atlanta looking to get something going on the outside. They had a man outside, decided to take it in. Looks like a little bit of a knock-on. Chicago with the ball. Dan, every time you just want to tell him, just get the ball out to the wing. It was a 2-on-1 scenario. Just got to move that pill to the outside, stretch the defense. You always get those half gaps in sevens. It's always so deceiving. It's just like you want to make it. You want to take that break because it's there, but, you know, you got to be disciplined and move that ball to the wing and stretch to the defense.
I mean, we saw earlier playing for 1823, Perry Baker, Radzovic in the last game, genuine speedsters. When that space is there, they can capitalize on it. For 90% of the players on the field, they don't have that game-turning pace, that electrifying pace. They're fast players by all means, but exactly what you're saying. When that half gap is there, you're better off exploiting it through passing the ball and creating a bigger gap elsewhere rather than trying to take every opportunity that presents itself.
It's the old accordion effect, Dan.
Everyone at home, if you're listening, you take and you're over 21, every time Colin says accordion, take a drink.
Well, we're just talking about how the defense works in sevens, and the more phases you play, you have to resource that breakdown. There's only 7 players, and you need the person in the tackle, the weak side pillar, and the strong side pillar, and there's 3 guys in the tackle right there. So you have to condense the defense, and you have to spread out as well. So it's that accordion in and out.
Here and we go. Andreu comes out to Baytops. He's going to use his speed on the outside. Oh, grassing tackle there brings him down from Sandstrom. Now they're a little isolated. The Lions coming in. I feel like I'm on the Serengeti there. The pack of Lions swarming in just to take the ball off. And they bring it out now. Let's see what they can do in attack. There's some space in the middle. He's going to take it. Beautiful stuff. Sweep it.
Oh!
Again, trying to jump over the sweep. We've seen that a few times today.
Eddie Blamel trying to hurdle the sweeper.
Comes back, Lions. That's
Woo!
some speed, sir. They're not going to catch him. He's got too much pace.
Sanjay Ajay. Great stuff from him there. Wow, just breaking straight through the middle. Amazing run through. Just sometimes, Dan, the seas just part and you get a free lane to the other side of the field. But you got to have the gas to make it through, and that's great awareness just to take a gap when it's there. You know, we say we want to hit the corners, but, you know, if you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, you miss the opportunity sometimes. Right there, Sanjay just put the foot down and got through and scored the try, and will try to convert his own.
Yeah, Jay there showing beautiful pace. They're going to start calling him Moses, how those seas just parted down the middle for him. He went straight through it. And like you said, sometimes it's better just to play what's in front of you. And that's the accordion effect of stretching the field. Sometimes that opens things up in the middle.
I think that's four for this game, accordion. references. Here we go. Kickoff. Chicago. See Atlanta can get going here. A little turnaround. I think they're happy to play a phase here if they can resource this pill. Oh, weak side. Not sure if it's exactly what you want to do. So much space on the open side. Nice little skip pass. See if they get out to Gerson Blaze. I know he's got some pace. Steps on the inside of one. Barely wrapped up by the shorts. Support's got to be there. Atlanta does well. They have numbers on the outside. They have another person on the wing. If they could just get it there. Oh, I think that's Baytops. Looking for the gap inside and again getting wrapped up. Turnover ball. A little bit of knock on. He had number 8 outside of him. That's Sean Hunt. Right there on the touchline. Wanting to get that pill.
I mean, there's a perfect example of what you were just talking about, Colin. And Baytops did great. He straightened up the offense, and then he committed to that half gap. Didn't get through, turns over the ball. If he just stops there, props off his right foot, goes back outside and finds the man wearing the 8 jersey there in Hunt, that's what you want to do. I mean, commit the defense, turn their shoulders inward, and then pass the ball. Give the guys outside you an opportunity to use their pace.
Nice scrum down. Chicago ball. Oh, look at the fancy feet going on here by the center. Somebody bring him down. Great offload to the tackle. Chicago just on the front foot. Atlanta in scramble mode, getting back on sides. Numbers to the right here. Martin Iosefo taking the ball into the corner. A little bit of tit for tat here at number 4 for the Chicago Lions. Eddie Blamel gets under the sticks. He didn't exactly know what was going on there a bit, Dan. It was a bit chaotic, but sometimes in sevens, once you wait a little bit, be a little patient, you make somebody miss, you get that opening for the try right there in the corner.
A little bit of confusion there. Some of the Atlanta players not happy. I don't know if there's actually awarded the try. It looks like we're coming back out to the 22. Everyone's a little bit confused.
Everybody was a little bit.
So I did see some of the Atlanta players upset with what was going on. So maybe a knock-on in the in-goals or something's caused that. Either way, we come back with a 22 restart, to which they drive down into touch, and that'll get us through to half-time there. And everyone's a little bit confused after that play. But
yeah, I thought we had a little breakdown on the opposite side of the field, but you know, a little get-out-of-jail-free card there for Atlanta. So
definitely was. I mean, you look at some of the players on the Atlanta roster, and there's some talent there and some speed there. Chicago, though, they go into halftime leading 5-0. And what do you call this, a little bit of an upset feeling so far? Or just, I know Chicago, they've got a good sevens program. Don't get me wrong. They've been in this championship many, many times. But I kind of fancied Old Whites going into this game.
Yeah, I think Chicago definitely came in being the favorite. Atlanta coming out of this thing, we got some names in there. And, you know, we got Gerson Blaze and Baytops, but I don't think they're the program that actually had the storied history. Chicago's been here quite a few times. They have that experience. But it's a 5-0 game right now, and we've seen a little bit of tit for tat, a little bit of turnovers, a little bit of sloppy play. I'd like to see both teams use the width of the pitch a bunch of times with these guys going for these little half gaps, you know, right along the 15s, not really getting the ball out to the wingers. You know, I think Gerson Blaze can actually get the ball with a little bit more depth. I think would help them out a lot. And, you know, it's anybody's game at this point in time, upset or not. It just, I think Atlanta needed to come out, use the width. Chicago's doing a pretty good job. Unlucky not to get a score there at the end of the half. We were really confused as to what exactly happened there. But, you know, it's anybody's match this second half.
Yeah, it really is. 5-0. This is probably the tightest game we've had thus far today. And it could be interesting. I think if Atlanta can start figuring out that getting that one last pass and using the space a little bit more opportunistically, then they're a chance. But Chicago, very gritty side, and I've been pretty impressed with them as well. So we're going to get things restarted here in just a moment. Chicago will be kicking off to Atlanta, just 7 minutes away, leading 5-0. And we're still in pool play here in beautiful Starfire Sports Stadium in Seattle, and it's already had some very exciting games.
A full day of rugby here. Been great performance by all the teams thus far. I think this is testament to these teams' defense as well. Both teams putting in big hits. 5-0 scoreline, not something you usually see in sevens. Usually a bit more open, but I mean I think both teams are doing pretty great on their defensive work so far.
They certainly are. Not a great start there for Chicago, kicking the ball out, and the full will come back to halfway, gives the All Whites a chance, Old Whites, sorry, a chance to get a set piece start off here.
Here's Bay Tops.
And Dreu, the Frenchman, he goes across, finds Hunt. He pulls it down.
Andreo played for Racing Metro under 21 in Paris, France, so he's got a little bit of rugby backing behind him, a little bit of rugby knowledge.
Bit of French flair, might see it come out. Here we go.
Woo!
Out to Bay Tops. Let's see what he can do. That's not Bay Tops, sorry.
Blaze, that's Gerson Blaze, little step inside. Again, getting hauled down by his shorts, man. That's twice you thought he was away. Bay Tops gave Gerson the ball to the outside. Great to see those two connecting right there, and unlucky.
Yeah, yellow card for Chicago. Number 5 there, Heiberger gets a yellow. The referee indicating that that's the second time that he's played negatively by slowing down the play there. And we see Bay Tops with the ball now going across field, but again, well defended. And this game becomes very difficult with 6 men on the field.
Oh, absolutely. And then you go into dropping your sweeper into the line. Not that Chicago would need one right here. You'd want everybody in there, but you lose that added defender.
Andre moves it across. Hoffman with
Woo!
the ball. Well met though. Needs to get down to ground and find some support. Andre trying to clean him out. He goes into scrum half. Moves it across to his left. Looking for runners. There's Hunt, one-on-one out the sideline. He'll be tough to stop. Hunt, he's in the corner. Try time. The big man.
Great try.
He's a lump of a lad out there, Big Hunt.
Brilliant,
he uses
brilliant
that size, just get straight over. Gives a little salute to the crowd.
Well, that's what we were talking about. He was out there standing on the wing, Dan, waiting for the pill, and it's easier once you get that ball out to the wing. The defense got to stretch. They're in scramble mode. The angles are just different. Your shoulders are turned. You know exactly what I mean. Like when somebody's had their angles completely angled out, it's easier to off-foot them. It's easier to knock them over to get over the try line. Just their center of gravity isn't there. So I really, really liked what they did there. You had Bay Tops and Blaze on the right side doing some pretty great work, and then having the big man Hunt on the other side smashing it over for the try.
You talked earlier about the benefits of having a big winger. If you're not going to have a fast winger, have a big winger, and Samoa were very good at doing that. That close to the try line, he's virtually impossible to stop there.
That's the big thing. When you have a big winger, you want him to be big. Go into tackle, take 2 with him, and then you're obviously shortchanged elsewhere. Because usually it's a big man against a small winger if you usually have that matchup.
Certainly is now Chicago down a man, playing with 6 at the moment and deep inside their own half. Look at the intensity from Old Whites here from Atlanta. Very quick onto the ball. A little bit of confusion here. Moving up quick, he steps out of one tackle. That looks like a Zhu again, the try scorer from the first half.
Great feet on a Zhu.
Here we go, not rolling away. He's going to go quick though. This is what the Lions need.
Oh, no.
Looked the wrong way, playing advantage, not back 10.
This is not what you want if you're Atlanta. This is a get out of jail free card. They're just eating up the clock on that yellow card.
They certainly are, and time has expired on that card now. As you see, they're going to get back to a full contingent of 7. Chicago, little loop around, nice little straight run, a beautiful run there. Looking for some support though, can't find it, loses the ball, goes backwards. Now the referee playing the ball on the ground. That's a fair call there. They'll go quickly. Nope, the Frenchman. Andreu there. He tries to go quick, referee brings him back. He takes the tap anyway. Former Racing Metro under 21s player.
First side of the field, great option there. Find a little half gap in the middle of the field again. It's tough to do when you attack the middle.
Well, here we go, we've got a foot race now. Bounces up perfectly, but the referee's already spotted a little knock on from Chicago. Oh, he could have been gone there, Heiberger.
Now we have Atlanta coming in. We got some substitutions being made, some fresh legs. With 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game, you bring in some guys who have plenty of gas in the tank. Pretty interesting sevens tactic to go ahead and make a mass switches there, three changes, and just having an injection of fitness and pace on the end of this game.
Yeah, 2 minutes left on the clock. We're still tied at 5 points to 5. The Atlanta team thinking that they need some fresh legs. That could be a penalty there, playing the man off the ball. Andre with the ball, the Frenchman. He can't find any value at the middle. He's well met. Chicago again, geez, they just come flooding in from defense, don't they? They play a very tight defense. Look how close they are. You could almost throw a tissue over them. Here they go. They've turned it over. No, now they got the ball. There's some speed out here, one-on-one with Hunt. Heiberger trying to get through, he can't, he's then dragged down. Comes back now to Blumel. Again, both sides very, very strong defensively. I just get the feeling it's going to come down to a little bit of individual brilliance. It's going to break this game open.
Chicago's doing a great job maintaining possession right here. Atlanta looking a little fractured. And a quick tap. Not back 10 again. Great step inside.
Reaches out, try time. He's in. You got to give credit to Aju there. He took the quick tap, got them offside, did a little bit of work with his feet before unleashing Heiberger down the side. He's been heavily involved in the second half, Heiberger. And that's a try that takes him ahead. 10 points to 5, just 57 seconds left on the clock here.
I mean, that was just quality, composed play from Chicago to weather the storm from that yellow card. I mean, just the penalties by Atlanta and Chicago territory really ate up the clock. They were able to maintain possession. Really smart rugby, you know, being a man down and being able to march up the field. And just Atlanta just did not help themselves out with all those penalties.
Definitely not, and there is a glimmer of hope this Atlanta side. 30 seconds on the clock. Conversion was missed, leaves the score at 10 points to 5. A converted try will still save this game for Atlanta if they can get their hands on this ball up the kickoff. Again, though, you have to think after almost 14 minutes of rugby, just 3 tries scored. It's a big ask for this Atlanta side.
Great kick from Matt Lancor.
Well fielded, though. Let's see. Atlanta with the ball there inside their own half, though. Nice little show and go there from the 11. That's Brian Williams. He's dragged down. Andreu, he brings it across. Tries to find Ado. He's well met, though. Chicago defending like they want to win this game. Very close to the sideline. Does well to keep the ball in, but it's been turned over. Chicago lines on attack. Heiberger, the try scorer, looking for some support. He finds it.
Matthew.
Gute.
A one-on-one with Hunt. Comes back inside.
Yeah, he's playing safe options here. Time's expired. You want someone with cooler heads just to kick this ball out.
I don't know if they know or not here, Dan.
They're going to keep playing. It's very dangerous. I know it's 90 meters away, but the penalty, and this should do it. We're going to play a knock-on, actually. He's pulled the arm down. It's going to be a knock-on. I don't think we're even going to have time to pack this scrum. He should blow the whistle up. But we're going to pack it down nonetheless. And still.
Atlanta's only opportunity here. They got to win this scrum. They got to get a push on. They got to do anything to get this ball out, because if Chicago gets this ball, it's out of bounds. Game over.
Yeah, it's a pinhole. The light at the end of the tunnel right now for Atlanta. But when there's light, there's hope. Chicago win the ball. A little bit messy, goes back. This could be the turnover he wants, not playing the ball on the ground. Here we go, quick tap in their away. They need some speed. They find it, number 21. That's Mango. Comes back to the Frenchman, Andreu. He comes across.
Oh.
There's numbers if they need it. Hunt's out here by himself.
And again, not using the width of the field. Turnover ball.
Kicks it out. They'll hold on, Chicago. Beautiful stuff from them. They did it the hard way there at the end, probably giving a heart attack to their coach, but they'll hold on with a 10 points to 5 victory.
Great composure from Chicago. Absolutely lovely stuff from them.
Yeah, Chicago will hold on 10 points to 5. Like you said, a very storied 7 program up there and showing some grit. That's like championship rugby right there, that tough knock them out, drag them out type of rugby, in Chicago showing they can play it. They actually lost to 18-23 in one of the qualifiers. So it'll be interesting to see those two teams if they have to run into each other again. Colin Hawley, what are your thoughts on that game?
With Chicago, I'd always thought they were the more composed team. I think they have a bit more history, a bit more players on their team that actually have that cool rugby head that you need. You know, with that yellow card, they were under severe pressure, and they marched from their own 20-meter line all the way down the field. Atlanta gave up a few silly penalties that you usually see from a younger team with younger players involved, and just the frustrating effect for Atlanta not using the width of the field, I think, was the end game for them. They had Hunt on the outside quite a few times. He got the ball once and scored in the corner, but not utilizing the space and him on the wing more often and deciding to take those half gaps in the middle really, really hurt them. But hats off to Chicago. They held on. I thought they did extremely well and played some composed rugby, and it's a good win for them.
It certainly is, and like you said, we have a great vantage point up here in the commentary box of seeing that space, and it was blatantly obvious that Atlanta had opportunities to win that game. They didn't do it. So congratulations, Chicago. They will hopefully move on, and we will get back into the action here as we have East Palo Alto taking on the Titans.